we're trained as kids to be aware of fire alarms and fire hazards and that sort of thing. And in school, if somebody, there's a fire alarm, we walk in a straight, orderly line in a
Right.
neat fashion down the hallway and out the door to the rally point or whatever. But there's no time for that with a dust explosion.
Oh,
Whether it's in a collector or out in the ambient air in your facility,
right.
it's instantaneous, and once
Yes.
it happens, it's too late. The probability and the likelihood that everything happens in that perfect storm that you're talking about is fairly low, but the risk of what happens and the results are just absolutely catastrophic when something like that does happen if you don't have the proper precautions
Right.
in place like you're talking about to mitigate that.
And here's we offer at Decker, we offer two approaches to kind of the dust hazard analysis. There's a risk based, and then what we call a traditional or prescriptive DHA. And what you find is that as you dig into the dust hazard analysis, and that's the intent, you actually find that the occurrence of each individual event
Mhm.
may happen at a frequency that the organization is not aware of and they're not comfortable with. Just like the scenario I outlined before, where you could have an insulating material, particle separation creates enough energy. Just simple loading the material into a sifter could cause a fire or flash fire. And the other thing that I want to say before we move forward is uh, the NFPA standards are designed so that you're building safeties to prevent fire, flash fire, and deflagration. So you have to look at all three. So
Yeah.
where you may not have your explosion potential may be low, the fire potential may be high. Your flash fire potential may be high. So you have to look at all areas. And as you said, the flash fires and the deflagration events, they happen in a matter of milliseconds, no
Right.
time to react. So that's why you build in all these safeties. But until you do the deep dive analysis to understand the properties of the material, how the process runs, and how it could potentially you create that perfect storm, until you know where all that is, you're operating at a point where you're going to potentially injure people, you're going to potentially interrupt supply chains, and no organization should be comfortable with either.